What's up guys, Saif Ashraf here. Today we are going to be reviewing the M1 MacBook Pro. I've had this for 6 months now and it really feels like I've had it for a couple of days. There's no way I spent this for 6 months. But yeah, it has. Let's get straight into the review. Alright, so I have used this every day since the original unboxing for a number of things such as video editing, 4K for all the YouTube videos you have seen in this 6-month period, schoolwork, thumbnails, photo editing, a couple of family video projects too, and much more. And everything has felt so good with this MacBook. Alright, so let's start off with how the laptop feels. It is made out of metal, which does mean that it does have a bit of weight to it, but at the same time it does feel very premium, as it should be for the price of £1,300. On the left side we have two Thunderbolt 3 ports or USB 4 ports, and on the right side we have a single headphone jack. In my opinion, the lack of the extra two USB ports we could have had it on the right hand side is a bit of a sad bummer for me, because like when editing and when docking this onto behind me into the monitors, then both of the USB ports are used up instantly. One of them for power and one of them for obviously the USB hub to put my USBs, SD cards and HDMI cable into. So two more on the right hand side would have been really good to see. However, we don't have that there, so yeah. The keyboard is great to type on. It does have Apple's scissor key switches, which actually feels really nice. It does have the right amount of treble and it also feels great. The script on this review was made on the MacBook Pro and the whole experience was satisfying. The Force Touch trackpad is my favorite trackpad I have seen in any laptops, and I have tested a couple from Lenovo, HP, Dell, but this Apple trackpad is definitely the best. The Force Touch is so satisfying and it is equal everywhere you go on the trackpad, and the size is huge. So for editing Photoshop work or even writing your signature on the actual trackpad is nice. The touch bar is, I guess, useful. I mean, the only times I use it is to adjust screen brightness, the sound of the Mac, and skipping through YouTube ads on Safari. That's literally all I use it for. We do have emojis. Yes, I love it. We got emojis, so if you do want to send emojis to someone, then yes, you've got emojis. The bezels on the front where the display is does make the MacBook feel a little bit old. The same design has been used on a MacBook for quite a long time now, so everyone is awaiting a refresh. However, if you do ignore the bezels and you look at the display is actually really nice. Colors are actually really good, and sharpness is really crisp. It is a slightly above 2K panel, not a full 4K panel, but the 2K on such a size screen is actually alright. You also have a couple of color profiles built into the Mac, and you also have True Tone for anyone that uses that. I use it, but not when editing for obvious reasons. It is an LCD panel though, not the mini LEDs featured in the new iPad Pros or AMOLED which Samsung have. But yeah, LCD. In dark conditions you will be able to see a bit of grey where the black areas should be, but in a nicely lit environment, like an evenly lit environment, you won't be able to tell the difference. The overall display will look great. The speakers are pretty good too. We have two front firing speakers on the actual MacBook and they sound really good. When listening to podcast, the overall voice from the speaker is clear, and when listening to music too, there is a bit of bass. Not the most bass, but coming in from such a thin laptop, then it is pretty impressive, and the overall vocals and instrumental will sound amazing. I edit sometimes with the actual speakers because that's how good they sound. Performance is the best thing about this MacBook featuring Apple's M1 processor. The M1 has not failed to impress me over the past 6 months. I've edited 4K footage, as I said before, on this Mac for all my YouTube videos in the past 6 months, and no lag, no stutter at all. For those wondering, I do edit on Final Cut Pro. Just wanted to say, in the sun, I used this MacBook once, and I came inside, the fans were max 7,000 RPM. I don't know, like the sun it wasn't even that hot that day. I think it was 20 degrees Celsius outside. I was using it in the sun, just watching YouTube videos, nothing else really. And I did see the temperature rise up quite a bit to 40, 50, 60 degrees Celsius. I came inside and the fans went max. And the overall chassis was quite hot. So yeah, that's just something to point out. Maybe don't use it in the sun. Because M1 works so good with this MacBook, the overall battery optimization is great too. I've had like a week going through using this MacBook every day without having to plug into the charger once, which is very, very nice. Of course, while editing, the battery will go down fast, but normal using Safari and Apple optimized apps, then this battery will last quite a long time. I finally feel like that I can finally go outside, go to a shop, or go into the car or like a public transport or something, and I don't need to worry about the Mac running out on battery. Sometimes I could just leave the house on 60% knowing that I'm not going to run out anytime soon. Altogether, Apple have done a really good job on this MacBook. The battery is great, the performance is also outstanding. The only thing I could talk about that needs a bit of improvement is the additional USB ports that could be added, maybe an SD card reader, which is probably not going to happen, and the overall bezels. But apart from that, this MacBook is outstanding in every single way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment if you do have any questions, which I did leave out in this review. Thank you guys for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, Saif Ashraf. Peace.